These are the 3 rules of no contact if you want that one special person to come back crawling after they cut you off, right? It could be an ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, even friends, bro. Let's get into it. 1, do not watch their Snapchat or Instagram stories, bro. And I know it's going to be really hard, but you got to train your mind to be stronger than your emotions. You get what I'm saying? And I know if they got you on their close friends, it's going to be extra tempting not to click it, right? Or you're going to want to click it, right? But the whole point of no contact is to strip them of the validation and attention you used to give them. You want to starve them of this shit. They're going to miss it. Now, my boy, I need you to go ghost on social media for 2 weeks to a month. Get her thinking like, damn, why isn't he posting? Is he depressed? Like, what's going on? Now she's going to be tempted to reach out. Y'all know how girls are. They always think the worst of the worst. They got a crazy-ass imagination. They're like little kids, you know what I'm saying? But thank me later. It's all psychology. 2, do not wish them a happy birthday or a happy holidays. None of that bullshit. That's when it's going to sting the most. Like, damn, okay, I was done with that person, but they're really done with me? Like, yo, they're not wishing me a happy birthday or a Merry Christmas. I don't care if y'all was together for 10 years, bro. No contact is no contact. Stop looking for an excuse to hit them up. Talking about, oh, we was together for 10 years, but it's her birthday, it's his birthday. Fuck them. You think when that person did you dirty, they cared about you? So why you care about them? Y'all gotta tighten up and stop being so fucking nice. 3, family and friends is off limits during no contact. Don't talk to her little brother or don't talk to his little siblings. None of that shit. No contact is no contact. If you guys got mutual friends, do not talk about this person to them. Follow me for more advice. You might never see me again.
If you're in no contact with somebody, don't worry because they always come running back. I'm going to teach you exactly how to make this person miss you like crazy and come running back to you. Number 1, you're going to remind yourself on who you are. You're going to boost up that confidence and realize that they're the ones missing out on you. This is one of the exercises I teach inside my blueprint, which you can grab at the top of my page, but you're going to list 3 reasons why they should be the ones obsessing over you. You need to fall back in love with yourself and remind yourself on why this person fell in love with you in the first place. Why were they with you? For example, I made this person's life better. They felt so happy having me in their life. I made their life easier. Number 2, spare yourself the unnecessary stress and stop checking their social media. Stop posting on your stories just so that they can view it. Unconsciously, they know when you are posting on your story just for them. You don't have to say it. They know. Before you post anything on your story, ask yourself, am I posting this for me or am I posting this for him? Because if you're doing it for him, then you are sending out your energy. You are letting them win. This is all energy, so you can't fool energy. That's why when you shift your energy and you stop doing things for others, you stop putting others before yourself, that's when they start obsessing over you. Number 3, you are going to assume that they are obsessed with you, that you are the one that got away for them, that they would do absolutely anything to have you back. You are not bothered by being in no contact with them because you know deep down that you are irreplaceable. They're never going to find somebody like you. So even if they are talking to other people, that's not going to make you jealous because you know that nobody compares to you. And when you have that mindset, not only are you unbothered, but it's extremely attractive. It's hard to come by. To call your energy back, shift your focus, be unbothered with whatever they're doing, and hold the knowing they are obsessed with you, that you are their dream girl, that you are the only one they want to be with. They're going to come running back to you. And if you want the step-by-step guide that my clients are using to see amazing results like these, you can download the blueprint at the top of my page. You know how some people are like, no contact is so hard. I literally almost texted him. I can't stop having the urge to text him. I've never felt that way. Like, honestly, no contact is so easy for me. Like, yeah, sometimes it sucks if you're not hearing from the person that you want to hear from. My cat's meowing. But for me, it's so easy to just like have self-control and just not text them. Like, one thing about me is I will win no contact every single time. Like, you'll literally never hear from me again. Ever. I think it's a fun little game. I'm like, okay, you think that I'm gonna reach out to you after what you did to me? You think that... Yeah, no, that's not happening. But it's fun to just sit back, work on myself, focus on my career and my priorities, and just see when they roll back around. Because they always do. And this no contact stuff does not go for like a mature, healthy relationship. I'm talking about the guys that like did you wrong or did something to you and you guys won't talk anymore. Like the guys that treated you terribly and just ghosted you or dipped out of your life. That's who you should be in no contact with. But anyways, just thought I'd share.
Going into no contact will not help your ex get used to living their day-to-day life without you. I'm Coach Pearl, relationship coach. Let's get into it. So a lot of people are afraid of going into no contact with an ex because they're scared that if they go into no contact with their ex is going to get used to living life without them. They're afraid that by going into no contact, their ex is going to very slowly be able to detach from them. But in reality, this isn't what happens when you go into no contact with a dumper. So when an ex already chooses to break up with you, they've already premeditated the breakup, so they've already thought of breaking up with you in advance, and they're already feeling, for the most part, pretty relieved to go through with this decision. Yes, some exes might have some moments of sadness at the beginning, but for the most part, they're feeling relieved. They've wanted this breakup. They thought it through. And so when you go into no contact with an ex, you're essentially forcing an ex to actually experience the breakup. Just because an ex felt like they were ready for the breakup and they've premeditated it and this is what they wanted, it doesn't mean that when they experience that they're also going to still want it. Remember, we can want certain things, but once we have them, we can realize we don't want it as much as we thought that we did. Same thing with the breakup. And so although you're afraid that by going into no contact, your ex might start detaching from you or getting used to living life without you, it's the opposite. It's much easier to detach from somebody when you still have them. When you still have a person, you can very slowly start mentally detaching from that person. You can take more space, more distance, spend a little bit less time here and there, and very slowly get used to life without them. But when an ex breaks up with you and you eventually go into no contact, your ex now is forced to actually experience what life is like without you. Your ex doesn't have the opportunity to detach. Remember that when you go into no contact, the exes, the dumpers, start with the relief stage. They start off by feeling very relieved, by putting themselves out there, by trying to have fun, going out, hanging out with people, by trying to find a lot of fun distractions to do to not have to think about the breakup. So your ex isn't actually trying to detach at the beginning of the breakup. And then if, for example, you're in no contact and you're not in your ex's life, what's even better than that is now an ex is forced to experience every single consequence of losing you. So when you're not in your ex's life, an ex's birthday, for example, can come up and they can think how much nicer was last year, or they can listen to a song and it can trigger a memory that you two shared last summer with you. But the point is that there's so many memories and there's so many moments where an ex can start feeling your absence and missing you. Your ex can, for example, have a bad day and wish they could just call you. But if, for example, you're still in your ex's life, you're still giving your ex every single benefit of a relationship without being in a relationship, you're just not giving your ex the opportunity to ever actually miss you and to ever be able to experience what life is like without you. An ex cannot miss you if they don't lose you. And so it's actually a lot easier for your ex to detach from you if you're still actively in your ex's life. And also remember that if you're still actively in your ex's life and your ex knows that they can have you if they want you, an ex feels more comfortable potentially dating other people. An ex feels more comfortable seeing what's out there because an ex knows that they can still have you. So as long as an ex knows that you're still there, they're not going to fully value you, and it's a lot easier to detach from you slowly, which is why I always tell people to not be friends with their ex, because when you're friends with your ex essentially knows that they can still have you. And when you're friends with your ex and you're giving your ex every single advantage of a relationship without a relationship, an ex doesn't have the opportunity to miss you or to lose you or to have any moments where they wish you were still there, because you are still there. And they can very slowly start detaching from you while still having you around. So no contact will not push your ex away. Of course, at the end of the day, there's no guarantees in life, but as long as you're no contact, there's always a chance of reconciliation. So you have absolutely nothing to lose. Ask yourself this: did you get your ex back by begging, pleading, chasing? No? Exactly. Then why not just do no contact? I myself married my ex after a period of no contact. If you need help with your breakup or a situation with your ex, you can either book a one-on-one Zoom session with me via the link in my TikTok bio, or you can join our no contact program where you will learn the winning technique in order to get back together with your ex, the step-by-step process that I used in order to get married to my ex. You will have over 1.5 hours of recorded video modules where you will learn everything and anything you need to know in order to get back together with your ex. These videos will explain to you what are the rules of no contact, how long you should be into no contact, how to respond to an ex that breaks no contact, the different attachment styles and how that can affect how long it takes for an ex to come back. You'll learn also methods to heal, to reduce anxiety, to self-improve, and to make your relationship healthy with your ex again. You will be able to join me once a week for group Zoom sessions for the whole month. And you will be in a private group chat with me and the other members in order to get consistent support and to make sure you stay strong in no contact. We'll also have different worksheets to complete, like a breakup bucket list templates and so many different cool worksheets. And you'll get special discounts for sessions. To sign up to this no contact program, click the link in my TikTok bio. As always, remember, you're stronger by two.
The no contact rule after a breakup. Let's talk about it. We all know that in the wake of a breakup, it's rarely clean. It's rarely black and white. Someone may still reach out to us. We may find ourselves reaching out to them. There are all manner of ways that we try and engage with each other. The 21-day no contact period is about detoxing from this situation for 21 days, giving 21 days of space. The hard thing about this idea of a no contact period after a breakup is that I'm well aware that if you're watching this from a place of crushing pain right now, it is the last thing you want to hear, and it is the last thing you want to do. Now, why is the 21-day no contact period important? Well, firstly, so that we can get space, so we can begin the healing process. The space at least means that we aren't consistently reactivating that wound every time we talk to someone.
You've got to follow a 30-day rule of zero contact, zero photos, zero videos, because you're not just letting them leave. You have to unlearn the patterns of your life that were with them.
Yeah.
It's a withdrawal like anything else. And any sign of that person actually triggers the old patterns in your nervous system, and it delays your ability to move through it.
Absolutely.
You're going to want to listen to the voice memos. You're going to want to saturate yourself because the life that you wanted is over. And you're either going to trap yourself in a life that you're no longer in by watching their life play out from afar. And you're going to keep re-triggering these patterns in your nervous system because you're going to keep this person in your life even though they walked out the door, which is why you have to let them. And then you've got to let me do the hard part, which is I get to choose how I'm going to move through this. And the research is also really empowering. It gets better for the majority of people. 71% of people start to feel better by 11 weeks.
That's the number, 11 weeks.
11 weeks. And you may feel better in 11 days.
What happens at 11 weeks?
What happens at 11 weeks, if you're not cyber stalking somebody, is that you've actually allowed your body to break the old patterns.
Right.
During those 30 days, what's going to happen is every time you wake up, you're going to feel them there because your body remembers. That doesn't mean that's a sign you should get back together. That's actually a sign that you're unlearning something. Let those memories come up. Let your nervous system process this. Every time you have news in your life, you're going to want to reach out to them. Why? Because that was the pattern. That doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
So you've got to do the let them leave and let me remind myself I'm going through this process. And every day that you do that, you're actually unlearning these patterns. And by the time you get to about 30 days, you feel less intoxicated.
If you did no contact method and your ex didn't reach out and you still weren't able to get over them, then there's two main things that you're doing wrong. And if you actually do these two main things, everything will change. Now, a lot of people think no contact means I just don't talk to the individual. That is not correct. You have to actually detach from this individual. And the way you detach from them is not only by not talking to them. Number one is disappearing. Number two is you not knowing anything about their life either. Now, based on psychology, the more you know about this individual's life, even if it's based on their stories or their social media or what they're doing, even without them knowing that you know, what happens is it prolongs the healing process for you. And your energy is still in it because you actually know about their life. So you're not really detached from their life. Number two, the point of no contact is not for them only to reach out to you. It's for you actually to figure out what they did wrong and how much better you are without them. And that is when they will come back.
Why getting over a situationship feels harder than getting over a relationship. I've been there. I felt gutted after my situationship did not work out, but after my long-term relationship ended, I was easing on down the road. I could accept that breakup very quickly. Why does this happen? It's because when you're in a relationship with somebody, you know them through and through. You know what went wrong, why this relationship did not work out. You know ultimately why you're not meant for each other. You tried it and it ran its course. There's no room for lingering questions. With a situationship, you were not in a relationship with this person. So that means there was distance. There was a space that could not be filled in. There was a gap between you that you desperately wanted to fill, so you created a fantasy of this person and the relationship that you possibly could have had. When you struggle to get over it, you're getting over the ideal of the person, the potential of a great love. There was no love. There was no relationship. You have no idea if you two actually would have been good together because you were never together. You had pieces of this person. You were infatuated with this person, hooked on the dopamine hit that you got every time they did give you attention because you weren't sure how long it would last and when you would get in their orbit again. You're mourning a dream, not real life. So because there is no closure and so much uncertainty surrounding that situation, it's so much harder to get over. In order to get past it, you need to reflect and ground yourself in the reality of what it actually was. See the situationship for the facts. Forget about the fantasy. This person did not want to commit to you, and that's the one and only reason why it didn't work out. You deserve to be wanted, and when someone doesn't want to be with you, that should be all the closure you need.
Go no contact immediately after a situationship breakup. That is the best advice I can give. Like, it is really, really hard to get over a situationship if you're still talking to the person. I just feel like there's no reason to continue talking after you've established that you want a relationship and the other person doesn't, or, you know, whatever reason for the situationship ending. Like, why would you want to keep talking to that person?
Nope, don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm not breaking no contact. I'm not calling you. I'm not, bro. I swear to God, I'm done, bro. I don't even give a fuck. I don't even give a fuck. I don't even care. I don't even care, bro. I don't even care. I swear to God, I do not even care. I do not give a flying fuck. Woo, shit. Oh, God. You a motherfucker. Oh, shit. I'm alright. I keep that shit pee.
Here is my breakup survival guide. Number 1, unfollow, delete, block anything in your phone that has his presence on it. Photos, messages, on Instagram, on Snapchat. You cannot be having that on your phone. Which leads me to number 2, no contact. You cannot contact them. They cannot contact you. You're not gonna be friends during this period, or you're not gonna move on. It's not immature. It's not embarrassing. I don't know why we came up with like blocking we think is embarrassing. No, it's taking care of yourself. Number 3, be fucking sad. Okay, you're allowed to. It's like you're grieving somebody that's still alive, essentially, that was in your life. So be sad for a maximum of 3 days. Wallow, cry, do all of that shit, and then we gotta move on. You're still gonna obviously have bouts of sadness, but you still got to move on with your life. Number 4, no big decisions. Okay, no moving, no job changing, no hair changing. Okay, and even if you've been thinking about that before, amazing. But just give it a few weeks. That decision doesn't need to be made right now. So just give it some time. It's okay. No rush. Number 5, and I swear by this, a 30-minute walk every single day. I prefer outside, but if it's on a treadmill, if it's cold where you are, go on a walk. You'll always feel better. You can think about things, listen to music, plan things for yourself. Exercise is the cure to all, so just do it. Number 6, swipe, but don't date. Okay, before somebody's like, oh my God, this is a problem with apps. Nobody on there is emotionally available, so shut the fuck up. Okay, remind yourself you're a bad bitch. So get on there, because after we get rejected, we feel we're not likable, we're not pretty, we're not hot. Yes, you are. Okay, so get on there, swipe, make sure that you still got it. You don't need to date right now. I don't recommend that you do, but you can in a little bit. Just remind yourself that you're a fucking bad bitch. Number 7, obvious, lean on your friends and family. They're there for you. You're not a burden to them. They saw you in this relationship, most likely, and are there to talk whenever you need, whenever they're available. So lean on them. Number 8, do not let your friends trigger you. Okay, so if you're no contact, which you should fucking be if anything is getting across in this video, tell them that you are, because I know some friends like come to you and are like, oh my God, I saw him do this, how embarrassing. That's not super helpful, no matter how embarrassing or what the situation is. They shouldn't be bringing up his name to you either, because that's a trigger. So tell them to don't do that. And number 9, get busy. And I don't mean by having sex, unfortunately. I just mean by filling your calendar, planning trips, getting back to your life. Like this, you know, it's a process for sure. But once you can get back into the rhythm, do different things, change up your routine, you'll be on your way.
I think the most significant relationship that I decided to go no contact in was the relationship between me and my mother. While I love my mother dearly, we just had a toxic relationship. And the ways that she treated me growing up was normal in my eyes. And as I grew up and became a mother and also just got exposed to other people, I realized like, no, she's mean like and abusive. Like she did great things as a mom and she did terrible things as a mom. Just is what it is. I actually didn't want to go no contact with my mom. I wanted to just be like, fuck it, we'll just have a shallow relationship. Like I tried a lot of things to make my relationship work, but it just came down to the fact that it just was never going to work because I was doing way more work to try to make it work than she was ever willing to do. My mom is from that old school of, even if you're an adult, I still see you as a child. The reason why I got to the point where I decided I had to go no contact is, yeah, you're probably going to always see me as a child because you literally turned me into a human, right? Like you turned me from liquid to human. Of course, you're like going to always see me as a child, and that's fine. It doesn't mean you get to disrespect me. It doesn't mean you get to curse me out. It doesn't mean you get to shout at me. You don't get to talk crazy to me. So yeah, you're going to probably see me as your little girl, but the little girl version of me had to put up with that shit. The grown woman who has never had to even ask you to help me pay a bill, who is respectful to everybody, including the child that I made, doesn't deserve that.